Hi guys, this right here is a pipe lamp I built using leftover pipe fittings and common electrical parts from the hardware store. It's dimmable and I think it looks pretty cool, so let me show you how to build one of your very own. So here are all the parts you're going to need. You're going to need a lamp holder. I'm using a porcelain one, but they also make aluminum ones. Porcelain is stronger and I think it looks better. This one has no switch on it, which is fine because I'm using a cord that has a switch, but if you buy a cord with no switch, you're going to need to get one of these that has a switch on it. It's like a little lever or button on the side. You're also going to want a 1/2 inch non-metallic cable clamp and some various cast iron or galvanized pipe fittings. I'll have a full list of the parts you'll need in the video description, as well as a lamp cord. This one has a built-in dimmer switch, which is why I bought a lamp socket here with no switch on it, but they make several different kinds of lamp cords, so you can pick whatever type you think would be the best for your project. Now let's get started putting this all together. The first step is to build the base here. You're going to need a 1.5 inch floor flange, a 1.5 by 1/2 inch bushing. These parts are already screwed together because I'm using recycled pipe fittings left over from some plumbing projects. You're also going to need a 1/2 inch close nipple and black iron T. You can just screw these parts together. You don't need any Teflon tape because, again, I don't think there will be any water or gas inside these pipes. They're just for making the frame. You don't need to make these very tight. I'm just snugging these up so they don't come loose. And now we can start wiring it up. Next, you're going to need to take the end of your lamp cord and strip the ends if it's not already stripped. Most of these come pre-stripped, but some don't. Next, take your non-metallic cable clamp and pass the ends of your wire into it, so the threaded end is facing the stripped end. Take the wires and bend them slightly like that, so they can be passed through the T. Just carefully slide it through. Make sure before you do this that there's no sharp edges inside your fitting. Some lower quality fittings can have sharp edges that can damage your wire. If you see any, just remove them with a file. And just make sure it's smooth before you put the wire through. Next, you can thread on the non-metallic cable clamp into the mouth of the T. I had a minor issue here because it ended up being upside down. This piece has conduit threads, which are different from plumbing pipe threads. To fix this problem, you can just take a little epoxy or super glue, screw this in most of the way, put some of that glue in, and then thread it until it's reached the position that you are happy with, and just let it set. Next, you're going to take your 1/2 inch by 3 inch black nipple and make sure there's no rough edges on the inside. Again, if there are any, you should file them down first. And slide this over your wires and then tighten this into the T. This again does not need to be very tight. You can just hand tighten it and snug it up with a wrench since there's no pressure on it. Now you can take your 1/2 inch by 1/8 inch reducing coupling and add the 1/8 inch close nipple. These were already stuck together since I'm reusing old parts. And then screw that onto the 1/2 inch by 3 inch nipple. Again, just hand tighten and snug it up with a wrench. Now you're going to want to take the bottom part of your lamp holder, and there will be a set screw on it which you should loosen using a small screwdriver. This set screw is what will hold it together, so it's important to not lose it. You take this piece and then thread the wires through it and screw this onto the 1/8 inch pipe thread here. Lamp threads actually use 1/8 inch pipe threads for some parts. However, the threads do not perfectly match. They're just close enough, so you just have to force it a little sometimes. Now you can pull more of your lamp cord through and then connect this. So this one with a white label is the neutral wire. On my lamp socket, the neutral wire is silver. However, you should always check the instructions because although this is the standard color code, you never know. Wiring this up is pretty easy. You just take stripped end and wrap it clockwise around your screw and then tighten it down. It helps to feed more wire through your lamp by pushing one end and pulling the other until you get more wire through it. This makes it more comfortable to work with, and you're going to want to do that if you have some trouble getting the pieces together. You can also just take your time when wiring this part. Once you have that hooked on, you want to pull it tight-ish, but not too much, and then screw down the screw, which will tighten the connection. Before you put the lamp socket holder back together, double check your wiring to make sure it's good. Then you're going to want to push the cord back through the lamp, and then have the 2 pins sticking out of this piece here on the base line up with the 2 screws that will come out. The screw will come out through this hole. The screws, as you can see, are actually screwed in from there, so make sure those 2 screw holes line up with the 2 threaded pins on the base. Then you're going to want to put those screws in to hold it together. Now we need to put some finishing touches on this. That set screw we loosened should now be tightened. This set screw prevents the lamp holder from coming loose. Now this screw is somewhat delicate, so don't use too much force, just want to make it snug. And now we can secure the cable from falling out. So the first step is to let it go to like a relaxed position, and then you're going to want to tighten down your non-metallic clamp. In my case, the lamp cord is too thin to be clamped, so I'm going to wrap it in some of this tape that I have. Just if you have to do this, use any kind of foam stretchy tape. You just want something that has a good amount of stretch to it. Wrap several turns of the tape around it. This is just so that clamp will have something to bite down on, otherwise it's going to be all loose because the clamp I'm using happens to be too big for the cord, or maybe the cord is too thin. Either way, just wrap several turns of the foam tape around, then push the taped section in, and then tighten down these 2 screws. And here is the finished lamp. This cast iron flange I'm using for the base means that the lamp is pretty sturdy. To prevent it from scratching up my nightstand here, I put a cardboard coaster underneath. You can get these cardboard coasters for free from most restaurants or bars, and the light works well. I put this decorative light bulb on it, but it works with any standard bulb. And this small bulb is the perfect amount of light to have on my nightstand, and it's a dimmable LED. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you on next time.